On DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's local music scene. And hailing from Washington, D.C., Dan Wolff and the Muddy Crows are an exciting, up-and-coming Americana roots rock group. Specializing in original music, they also maintain an extensive repertoire of covers in a variety of genres, and twice the Washington City paper Readers Poll has declared the Muddy Crows as the best original local band for the Washington, D.C. area. So it is such an honor to have the winner right here. I mean, my God, I first heard about him because of last year's win of the. Of course, I'm doing the show and I'm going, hey, well, who the best original local band? Who are these guys? And Dan's awesome and got back to me, and now he's here on the show. So Dan, thanks for being here, man.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, we've been emailing a while.
Yeah, so this is true.
Glad the schedule's finally aligned.
Now, so talk to us about the Muddy Crows and how did all of it come about?
So I moved down here in 2009, I guess, and I started recording some solo stuff with the Ambience Recording Studios, Josh and Sel out of Germantown, which is how I actually came to know a lot of the artists. And your show's like a who's who of the DC music scene, which is what you're going for, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I met a number of them through him, and I started recording a solo album. And as part of doing that solo album, I needed people that played instruments that I didn't play or didn't play well enough.
Got it.
And so I started looking around. The truth is, Craigslist was a lifesaver.
Get out of here.
And,
it's a Craigslist thing, too? Oh, I love it. And there are so many horror stories that come from that, but it's amazing that we get to hear the success stories on the show. So
okay,
it's if you're listening, there's so many that talk about Craigslist, but we should clarify that there's so many bad stories, but I love the fact that we share the good stories. They do happen.
They do.
I love it.
Yeah, that's how, and I think, we've had to replace a few people throughout the years. DC tends to be a transient city and people move and take different career opportunities elsewhere. And I think Craigslist has usually come through and got us a replacement on short notice. And we've had great success. But yeah, I would agree. I think it used to be that fairy tales and horror stories started with like Once Upon a Time.
Right.
Now they start with like I was on Craigslist.
And now now talk about the difference between, so you've got Dan Wolff and you've got the Muddy Crows. What's the relationship there? How does that work?
Sure. So the Muddy Crows was sort of formed out of trying to get the people together to record the solo album. And obviously, when we started performing live, we needed a name. So we can maybe go back to how we named the band. But over time, the Muddy Crows became popular, and oftentimes there was need for to build myself as a solo artist or as a trio. And people seemed to think that I didn't exist as a musician outside of the band.
Also, it was either the Muddy Crows or nothing. So we had to clarify. Dan Wolff is his own artist.
Yeah, so I kind of separated it. So for a while, I referred to it as the Muddy Trio to kind of separate what the trio was, and then we had a few opportunities for duets, and I thought that the Muddy Deuce no longer served its purpose as a good name for a band or anything really.
No, that is really not
yeah.
That is really not a good name for a band.
No.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
So okay, Dan Wolff Duo sounded better at the time.
And speaking of okay, so wait, speaking of names, how did the Muddy Crows come around? You teased us with that. What's that story?
So I think it would have been easier, as some of your other guests said, that a name generator would have been. It's tough to find a band name, something that everyone can agree on, something that represents what you think you are as artists, and something that when you Google brings up your name.
Yeah, that's an important thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that we went through a lot of iterations of different names, and I would say we decided that we liked the idea of having distinctive the. So we thought about like the Dirty Birds, which is obviously already taken. So we thought we'd make it dirtier and a bit birdier. And we went the Muddy Crows.
It's the dirtier, birdier version of the Dirty Birds is the Muddy Crows. Oh my God! It's another T-shirt. That's 2 T-shirt ideas on today's show, man. You are on fire. I love it.
So
the dirtier, birdier band.
I think actually on Twitter, I think I don't know, some social media does say like dirtier than dirt, birdier than birds were the Muddy Crows or something. I don't know. The true story is we actually. That's an interesting story. It's maybe not wholly true. There's a road out in Virginia. I guess people can Google it just to see where it is. But I used to drive through a lot of some wealthy-looking houses on the way to some training courses I was taking, and I saw this. I think it's called Crooked Crow Lane, but I like the idea of Crooked Crow. And while we were trying to come up with a band, I was trying to write a song called The Crooked Crow, which is never got finished because instead it went to a band name. But
Right.
so we kind of like the idea of the Crooked Crows, the distinctive the and then adjective noun, the Crooked Crows. But there was already a Crooked Crow band that does, I think they're heavy metal or something, and in DC. So
well, darn it.
CCB was out. The Crooked Crow band was out. So we tried some other options. I don't know, crooked things and rusty things and dirty things. So we ended up kind of stumbling onto the Muddy Crows, and when we Googled it, we got 0 results from Google, and we said, great, that's our name.
Success.
Yep.
There it is. Oh my God, I love it. Now, talk about you on the personal side. What do you do outside of the music stuff?
There's life outside of music?
Yes. You are required to give me at least one, sir. Everybody has to. There's more than sleep and music. Talk to me, man. What's life like?
I do think I work a lot. I have a cybersecurity job in the D.C. area, and so
wow.
I would say that's a high-stress day job. And
Sure.
then to relieve stress, I play and sing music to people.
Fantastic. And how long has the music thing been going on?
So in the DC area, I'd say since 2009, I really started taking it seriously. I think the band, despite the lack of name for a while, was probably around 2012, 2013 is when we really started playing a lot more serious. And it used to be you'd play short shows here and there. Now, I think in the last 2 years, we've probably been doing over, in different configurations, about 100 shows a year.
Holy smokes, man.
So yeah, when I
That's a
say
pretty hefty
there's
schedule.
not much life outside of music, it's work, music, and sleep.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Give me. So are there like TV shows? Do you go to the gym at all? Is there what else? There has to be something.
I don't go to the gym, but I do watch TV. If I have to confess to things, it's not. It's what everyone would think. It's Game of Thrones. It's
Don't say that with shame. There's a
No,
lot of people
no,
listening who would love that.
No, I do. I kind of expected. I feel like I should have like an answer that everyone's like, "Whoa, that's a show? I've never heard of that." No, it's the stuff that
it's
everyone.
Game of Thrones.
It's the stuff that you have to keep up with. Otherwise, people spoil it for you the next day in the office.
Right. Well, and something that when you're talking to fans at shows too, you can. Oh, this is something
It's
other people are
relatable. That's a
watching.
good point.
Too.
Yeah,
That's good. It makes sense to me. I got it. All right. So now, what about coming back? How did music start for you? Were you like a childhood prodigy in the music department? Did it start in school? Where did it go?
Prodigy is a strong word, I think.
Okay, I won't hold you to that one.
There are. My mom has cassette tapes. I don't know. You used to make it like the boom boxes, and you'd press record, and your kid would sing into them for all sorts of hours as you made him do embarrassing things.
Excellent.
Those exist. They haven't seen the light of the day in a long time, and if that streak continues, I think everyone's the better for it. But
Okay.
my parents were very big into pushing all 4 of us into music. We had to take a band instrument in junior high school, so I played trombone.
Really?
Yeah, people probably don't expect that, and I've not found a way to work it into our act yet.
There's a lot of awesome brass bands around, so if you ever want to pull that out,
there might be time.
might be an opportunity. It's a trend right now.
But yeah, so I played trombone for a number of years, and then it wasn't probably till I got into college that I really started playing guitar.
Wow, man. All right, and you just knew it was going to be guitar, or did you dabble think about some other ones too? Did you debate? Some people go back and forth, bass, guitar, not sure, or was it just definitely guitar?
No, I remember as a kid, my dad always played banjo. There'd be cookouts or things, and everyone always thought it was awesome. He was kind of like the showman.
Yeah.
And so I think I was a freshman in high school when he tried to teach me banjo, and I realized pretty quickly at the time, 3 Doors Down was big. I don't know, those kind of things, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you wanted to play songs that people knew, I don't know.
You needed to play
not that I really want to play Three Doors Down necessarily, but just that the songs you heard on the radio did not feature banjo. If only Mumford & Sons had come out sooner, maybe I'd have stuck with it. But it seemed at the time that there wasn't a big market for a banjo player, so I kind of gave it up and didn't play anything again for another 4 years until I really picked up guitar in college.
Wow. All right. That's cool. Now, my favorite question to ask on this show is, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say Google your band name and make sure it doesn't bring up anything embarrassing.
Yes. Search engine optimization results that is a reality for the bands out there. Yes.
Also, right off the bat, I've seen this with other bands, and it always bothers me. I think we got lucky. You want to get on every social media. You want to have the same band name.
Yes.
You want to have the same. You want to be able to say,
yes,
for me,
please.
go to Dan Wolff Music at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or go to the Muddy Crows at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social media flavor of the week. and not have to have different URLs for everything, because then it makes it hard for people to find you. And I think
Yes.
that marketing sometimes hurts bands, because even I'm like trying to find them online, like at a show, and I can't find them.
Well,
So I think it makes it easier.
Every
Marketing.
week for this, when my team does this every week and we're tagging everybody, it's really easy if you get on the roll and you do the Facebook post and you know what it is, and then you get to Instagram and it's like, oh, now what is it? And then you got to open another window and you got to Google and you got, oh man, truly appreciate that. Yes, good idea. Same name, which by the way, DC Music Rocks, same one on all the platforms. I truly appreciate it. It's one of those things. Now, one more time for those folks who are interested in finding out more about following you and finding out more about what you and the Muddy Crows are doing, where do they go?
Sure. You can go to danwolffmusic.com. That's Wolf with 2 F's, WOLFF. danwolffmusic.com, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all your social media flavors of the month, week, day, whatever, at Dan Wolff Music.
Got it. And the Muddy Crows are same thing?
And the Muddy Crows are all the same URLs, all the same usernames at the Muddy Crows.
There it is. And the difference between the two really is the Muddy Crows is going to be more of the full band music, and Dan Wolff Music is going to be more about you personally. Is that way to connect with you
circling
personally?
back to that, yes, I would say Dan Wolff Music will have all the full band sites listed, or full band shows listed as well, but we'll also include trios and solo shows. But if you're looking for like a really wild party and you want to make sure who you're going to see when you show up, you should go to themuddycrows.com. Look at the schedule; it's on the front page.
Go to the Muddy Crows for the wild party. I like it. The dirtier, birdier party. Oh my God, it sticks with. I'm telling you, man. Please make a shirt. I would totally wear that shirt. That's amazing.